This is Life Transformation Radio. Prepare to engage. Seatbelt activated. Download initiated. Your quantum journey of transformation begins in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Life Transformation Radio. Hi, everybody. I'm Rob Actis, best-selling author of The Law of Action, voice actor, business mindset coach, the podcast whisperer, and Mr. Action himself. Life Transformation Radio is heard in over 90 countries around the world. Thank you for joining us. We so appreciate it. So whether this is your first time joining us or you've been listening to Life Transformation Radio for some time, I want to personally thank you. Here at Life Transformation Radio, we are committed to share more about real life, love, the power of positivity, romance, and of course, laughter. We care about helping others find their internal drive and purpose. We celebrate life's challenges and overcoming them. Please rate, review Life Transformation Radio on your favorite podcast platform. We would so appreciate it. And listen to us live on Mondays and Wednesdays with a special bonus episode on Thursdays, recorded live on Clubhouse. A personal invitation from me to you. Please join us on Facebook in the Life Transformation Radio community. On the show, my guests are amazing people who are forces for good in the world around them and live a life of transformation. My guest today does just that. Today, Laura Hamlin and I discuss being truthful with yourself about your feelings and how this allows you to be more truthful to others and so much more. If you want to learn to pay attention to what feels right, be your own advocate, and by following your own path to inspire others to find their paths as well, this is the show for you. Laura Hamlin is a singer-songwriter born and raised in Arizona. She comes from a family from a construction background and didn't find the courage to follow her musical dream until much later in life. The experiences have since been eye-opening and life-changing and, let's just say, transformational. She is thankful to those who have inspired her to follow her dream simply by following their own. Laura, welcome to Life Transformation Radio.
Hi, Rob.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm so excited. Look at that in studio. Love it. Rock and roll, not rock and roll recording artist, but just incredible recording. You're going to do rock and roll sometime.
I've done some rock and roll.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you have that twang about you.
Yeah.
You text me a little, hey, darling. I'm like, oh, darling.
My grandma's from Kentucky.
That's so cool. All right. So, first of all, thanks for taking time out of your very busy schedule. I want to say that you really are incredibly remarkable, and all the things that you've overcome in your life, just spectacular, and you're so inspirational. It's like really a joy to have you here. I think you're going to inspire so many people, and I'm just really humbled that you're here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here.
And I got her to bring her guitar, which is so cool. So this will be like a VH1 Inside the Music.
Oh, I love that show.
There you go. All right, so you became a recording artist and got your musical chops going later in life.
Yeah.
And there was so much more in your life before all that happened.
Yep.
So we go in the Wayback Machine, and where did this all happen? How did Laura Hamlin become Laura Hamlin?
Well, my mom's got video of me when I was 2, singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star with my little pigtails. And really, my whole life, all I ever wanted to be was a singer, and I knew it from a very young age. But I wasn't really around musical people. So for me, for example, the only live music I ever saw really as a child was like country music dinner theater.
Right. Oh, okay.
And then every once in a while at a family cookout, somebody would bring a guitar and they would sing some old country songs, but I was always, sitting there cross-legged and starry-eyed every time that happened, but it wasn't very often. So I did take piano lessons in junior high. I didn't really like it. It didn't stick. I was in chorus and stuff, but I don't know, I didn't really have anybody to follow behind or anybody who was encouraging me that much. And so at age 29, I still hadn't taken up an instrument for reals. I hadn't really done any actual singing. Karaoke terrified me.
Wow.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Well, I'm going to
And
take you karaoke singing because that'll be amazing with like,
it's pretty, now I love it, but you know, it's funny because karaoke was so terrifying to me when it was the first thing I had ever done. It's still mentally, like I get more nervous singing karaoke than singing in front of like 1,000 people.
I bet you blow some people away doing karaoke.
It's pretty fun. In fact, I remember the first time I went to the Legion up in Heber, Arizona, a little country town up north. I didn't know anybody, and I walked in on a Friday night by myself. And before I knew it, the karaoke hosts were like choosing songs for me and like kept giving me the microphone back.
Ooh,
yeah,
play this one.
It was super cool. But anyhow, so at age 29, I decided I'm going to take guitar lessons, and it just started there. And I felt really silly. I felt silly. I was, I'm like to my teacher, am I the oldest student that you have? Is this ridiculous? I was practicing all my little Mary Had a Little Lamb stuff. And I don't know. I felt really silly, but I just had to do it. And I'm so happy that I did.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did too. You really, like, when I first met Laura, I'm like, why aren't you like really famous? And the fact is, people just don't know how great she is. So the right person hasn't discovered her yet, but I'm going to do everything in my power to let the right people meet her because her music is so incredible. Why don't you just play just a little snippet of something? I want people to just get your vibe and just how amazing you really are.
Sure. And this is, in honor of Transformational Radio.
I love it.
This is a song. Can you hear that?
I can hear it, man.
This
it sounds
is a song that I wrote called Moving Forward.
All right, love it.
Moving forward, like the turning of a page. Moving forward, looking far from yesterday. Though this heart of mine is damaged and it might be torn to bits, I will promise to remember just how I got here. I took the long road.
That's like magic. Like, that is so amazing. So I love the fact that you found your flow and your purpose in life because you are so incredibly talented. It's kind of like me. So when I was 4 years old, I decided that I wanted to talk on TV.
Really? When you were 4?
When I was 4 or 5 years old, I stood in
Wow.
front of the TV. Laugh-In was on. Gary Owens was saying, live from downtown Burbank. And I stood in front of my family and I said, I want to talk on TV. Now, I didn't know what that meant,
Right.
but I did it.
Oh,
and I
wow.
don't have entertainers in my family. I just went to the beat of my own drum. I actually just started slowly. I don't think if I started at 27, I would have achieved the success I have. It took a long time for me. But yeah, it's remarkable. I'm so thrilled for you. And
That's so awesome.
I love your music in that you can feel the emotion. Like, there's a lot there, like a lot.
Thank you.
So I want to unpack a little bit of that a lot in the time we have here together. You've overcome a lot of stuff. And I'd like you just to share a little bit some of that stuff because I think that's really inspiring. People need to hear that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people that are going through divorce right now, and I've been through divorce, and I tell them, look, you will get through this. You will. I know you don't believe it. You will. So let's unpack.
Okay. I mean, I don't really know where to start. I've been divorced as well. In fact, that was sort of the catalyst to me following my musical inclinations. The person I was married to was not supportive of me doing anything musical. In fact, I remember a direct quote was, there are no female vocalists that I like. And so I had to listen to my female vocalists, my heroes and my idols and the women that I really loved. I had to do that on my own.
Wow. Well, good for you for standing up for yourself and getting out of that because that's not.
It was devastating to me, and at that point I didn't know really how devastating it was, but I knew that it didn't feel right.
Right.
So, anyway, so I still, we're very dear friends. We have a son together who will be 16 next week. We're very dear friends. We just simply weren't supposed to be married. We weren't supposed to be a couple.
Yeah.
And I got to kind of, seek out what it was that I needed in my life to be fulfilled. And it's been music. It's always been music. So, and I was inspired to do so by seeing other people, you, for example, following your dream and just listening to the little voice inside you that kind of directs you and guides you. And those things are there for a reason. So, and if you listen to it, the way that it feels is just, it's amazing. And if you ignore it, that feels terrible. And it's so, it's great. It's great to see people who maybe started later in life too, just like me, but it's never too late. If you're still here, it's never too late.
It's not.
Yeah.
You get to reinvent your life every single day.
Absolutely.
And I reinvent my life all the time.
Good for you.
Like, all the time. We have a mutual friend, a very dear mutual friend, Andrea King.
Sweet baby.
Love her.
Yes.
Love her.
Yeah.
And she was just on my other podcast, Living the Law of Action show, and we talked about flow. And it was so perfect because it's really, I just can't say it enough. If you just trust in the universe and go that there's abundance out there, not from scarcity, and just go with your flow, it just unfolds so beautifully. Like if your life is so complicated and so unhappy, stop for a moment and breathe and figure out what your heart desire. We only have one chance here. This is not a dress rehearsal.
Right.
And at any moment, your life can change.
Yeah.
You don't want to live with regrets. I've had many near-death experiences, and you don't want to live with regrets. You want to follow that. And
I would rather regret something I did than something I didn't do, something I tried, as opposed to something I was too afraid to try. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you discovered your musical and really launched that. I'm glad you transitioned your relationship from husband and wife to friend.
To co-parents.
And co-parents.
Yep.
And that's great.
Yep.
Now, you have some other things that have happened in your life that have been somewhat challenging. I don't know if you wanted to share those or not.
Well, I know that you know me personally, and we've known each other for a while,
Yeah.
so I don't know what else.
Well, it's very difficult to be in the music industry.
Right.
And especially if you're starting later in life.
Yeah.
And, if you don't have a support system of family or this giant tribe, it's like pushing a big giant boulder up a hill.
Right.
And you still do it.
Yeah. You have to. I mean, and I guess that's where I'm at with it, is that I've had various musical relationship. Musical chemistry is very akin to a romantic relationship.
Absolutely.
Or
Yeah.
romantic chemistry rather. And you'll find it and it'll be magic, or you'll find it and it'll be not a great fit. So I've been fortunate enough over the past decade to have these different experiences with people that I have varying levels of connection and chemistry with in a musical way. And some of them have not worked out. Some of them worked out for a time and then they haven't worked out in the end. But through it all, I've learned that if you have this itch that you need to scratch as an artist or just as a chef or, whatever your art form is, you got to keep doing it. So I've got some music that I've already put out, and I've been in several different bands, and now I've got a new band, and we're working on really, recording and releasing some music with those guys. And it's just, I have to, I can't not do it.
No, you can't. Now you have another single that just came out on Spotify.
It's coming out soon.
Yeah, Can you play just something, a little ditty? I don't know.
Sure.
Is that a word? Ditty?
Ditty's definitely a word.
Ditty, all right,
and it definitely pertains to a song. So
okay, good.
Yeah. So this is a song called Awful Wretched Truth. It's a true song, a true story. And I'm going to release it with my string band, which is called, it'll be Laura Hamlin and Salt River String Band.
Love it. Yeah. I love all the different genres that you play in.
I've had a pretty wide musical taste always, but my heart is country music.
Yeah, I got that.
So
yeah, you're really good at the
I
twang.
write in the country, and that's what I listen to on a daily basis.
Do you find that's really where it comes most from, your heart and your soul?
Absolutely.
It just oozes out of you.
It does.
Okay.
It does. It's the stories. It's the storytelling country songs that I grew up listening to, where you can visualize, you can see the pathway, you can see the ocean, you can see the old house, you can see the farm, or whatever, the stream, the river, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And those are the stories that I love. So so much. So this is, like I said, Awful Wretched Truth. It'll be out in about 6 weeks from now, which is what? May.
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Well,
May.
May
Cinco de Mayo.
We like to celebrate Cinco de Mayo in Arizona, and I'm sure many other places. But there's a very rich Hispanic culture here.
Oh yeah.
And I adore it.
What's the first thing I offered you when you got here today?
Yeah, margarita.
Margarita. Cinco de Mayo.
Margarita.
All right.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay, here we go.
I must have been blind at the time when you walked into the room and you said those blue eyes are sparkling at me. I knew that you were trouble, but I took that bait, hook, line, and sinker, and suddenly I was falling hard and fast. No force could hold me back. I knew that there was nothing I could do. Now the awful, wretched truth is that my head can't make my heart stop wanting you. I love it. Ooh, can you like put that on my cell phone so I can hit that button just periodically throughout the day when I need a little pick-me-up?
Absolutely. I'm just
random applause.
I'm just fangirling here. Or fanboy. I don't know if I'm fangirling or fanboying, but I'm like,
you're so sweet. Thank you so much.
I'm all flustered.
You've always been so encouraging to me, and I really appreciate it.
Well, I was just shocked when I heard your music, and I'm like, what? Why aren't you like super famous? Like,
I would love nothing more than for more people to hear my music and to be able to connect with it.
Well, we have a small audience at Life Transformation Radio, so actually have a pretty big audience,
yeah.
So that's good. Yeah, so definitely excited about that. So one of the things that you do is you have been really intentional of how you built your career without knowing how to build your career.
Yes.
So how did you do that? And the other part is how did you break through your fear to just get out there and put yourself out there? I mean, to be a recording artist, it's like running around naked because you're naked.
Exposed.
You're totally exposed.
All your feelings, your thoughts, your experiences, totally exposed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you do what you do?
A large part of it is that I follow my intuition, and the things that feel right to me, I go with, and the things that don't feel right to me, I stop doing. And I think that's really been the main factor, is just listening, again, back to the little voice. You'll when something is good and it's right, you feel taller.
Yeah.
And when something is wrong and it's bad, you feel smaller, or you feel worried, or, just whatever. So that was really the fundamental thing, I think, was just, tuning into how does this feel? And if it really feels bad, okay, maybe I'll give it another chance. Oh, that feels bad again. Okay, well, this just continues feeling bad. So this clearly is an indicator, of the direction I should or shouldn't be going in.
Are those the cues that you talked about?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, for sure. And the thing is too, you could have an inclination as to how you think a certain situation will turn out. And sometimes you're like, oh, things are terrifying, especially as a musician. Like you said, you're completely exposed. And when you do these performances in front of, a lot of people, or even in front of a couple people, sometimes the more intimate performances where people are really listening to every word you say, those can be even more terrifying than the bigger ones where you're just kind of background noise. So anyways, you'll for me personally, I would be presented with an opportunity that would make me nervous. And I would think, oh, that doesn't feel great because I'm worried and I'm kind of stressed and I want it to go well. But the excitement of getting to do whatever it was, it pulls you through it. So it might not feel great in the moment, but those are things you got to overcome. If you're nervous, if you have anxiety, performance anxiety, or whatever, those are things that I think, that's not what I'm talking about. That is the stuff that kind of drives me, is the excitement and the challenge for myself.
Oh, yeah.
But if something feels there's just a difference. If something feels bad or it feels wrong or it feels gross or it's just kind of like, ugh, I don't know, whatever. I can't even name the emotion, but I don't like it. That's when I'll usually turn a corner. So
now, how do you, is there a process to overcome your fear when you have to audition for a band or you're approaching a band or, because the law of action is based on decide, plan, and act and overcoming your fears and not getting stuck in the planning stage. So when you create that momentum, the universe takes notice. Do you notice that when you're in momentum and you're like, boom, action, boom, action, that your life is a lot more simpler and that things just appear?
Yes, I would agree with that. I would certainly agree with that. So, you got an opportunity. I believe if you're doing the right things, if you're following your intuition, then even if you're a little nervous or whatever, you'll be drawn to continue doing those things. And I think you'll just know, I know maybe it takes some practice to cultivate being able to hear that and identify those little cues that you get.
Right.
But I think once that you do, then you pick up on them real easy. And I follow those every day.
That's awesome.
The little cues, I follow them every day.
One of the things that we all have is that voice in our head that says, yeah, you're not worthy. You can't do that. And so do you find that you base your decisions of your abilities on people around you and how they react of like, that they want to buy your music or that they want to pay you to be in their band or they want to have that? When you have those doubts, is that something that really helps in your reinforcement of your worthiness?
Sure. External validation from people you love and respect is a huge part of just being a human, I think.
Yeah.
But you don't want to put too much stock in that because you have to decide for yourself sometimes. And sometimes you have to kind of break away from what you think, what your crowd thinks, even if you really value those people. Sometimes, there's a quote from a book. I think it's Oriah Mountain Dreamer. It's called The Invitation. And she says sometimes you have to be disloyal to others in order to be loyal to yourself. So what that means to me is that you may have to disappoint other people by following your own heart.
Right.
And in that, there's loyalty. So you're disloyal to others, but on behalf of being loyal to yourself. And to me, that is so honest. The honesty there is just, it just kind of choked me up for a half a sec because that was one of the things that really got me through my divorce was having to be disloyal to someone else and disappoint other people in my life. But the honesty that took and the loyalty that took was, more prevalent for me.
Because you have to live with yourself.
Yes, correct.
You have to look at yourself in the mirror and you make those decisions.
And I had to be honest with myself and my own heart and my own desires. And I found it was worth it.
Absolutely.
1,000% worth it.
Have you cultivated a group of people, your tribe, that are not yes people that'll tell you like, Laura, this song sucks.
Absolutely.
Like this song sucks.
Absolutely. Yes. In fact, sometimes I'm like, hey, would you ease up?
Yeah.
Like I've got a girlfriend her name's Jill. She lives in Kansas and we've known each other since we were 13. And I'll send her songs and she comes right back and she's like, you kind of lose me at this part because the story is like, what are you even saying here? And, but that's good. I like that. I like to have the opportunity. And sometimes I listen to what she says. Sometimes I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to tweak this around a little bit. But sometimes I'm like, I love that. Should I say it this way or this way? Well, I like it this way. Okay, but you know what? This is the way that resonates better with me. And so I'm going to do it this way. But I do like to weigh in. But at the end of the day, I feel into what I want it to be and what I want it to say. So there's a balance there.
Well, the one thing I really appreciate about you is that you are so calm and grounded and you're very easy to be around. And the thing that people don't realize is that you're a freaking badass. Like you're a strong, powerful woman. Like, if there was I visualize you sometimes where, there's a burning building and you're walking out in your cowboy boots and just like your white t-shirt and is like, yeah, I blew that shit up.
Man, I love it. I love that visualization you just gave me.
So so there, I don't know if you can play that one part where you're twangy of when you're with the band, where you're in that kitchen and you're walking through that.
Oh, I can't play that song.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's all right.
I would love to.
That's okay. Well, we can tell them what it is.
That's a Scattered Melodies song.
Okay.
So I've been in this band for about 8 or 9 years. It's a band here in Arizona, and it's a great concept. So it was 3 buddies of mine were in a band. Well, the lead singer left, and there was a bass player and a drummer left over, and they were like, well, we're going to do a community project where we're going to bring different vocalists in for each song on this album. So they created this album and this concept, and the first one is called A Collective Agreement by Scattered Melodies, and each track has a different vocalist. So each track has a totally different sound.
It's so great.
It's the awesomest thing ever, and awesomest can be a word.
It is.
And then they've done several more albums since then, and it's just like so rad. So if you like a whole kinds of different music,
it's great.
Check out Scattered Melodies on Spotify and Apple Music and all the things.
And then the song that you were on is called.
So that's called Vibe Check, the newest one,
yeah,
the newest single, and it just came out like a month ago, and it's called Vibe Check, and it is awesome. It's like a totally funky. It's cool. It's a rad song.
She's a badass. She's a total. There's a video. Your video's on Facebook, isn't it?
Yes, that's
okay.
True.
So you can check out her Facebook. It's Laura Hamlin. It's definitely super cool. So, big question for you is, what is your why? Like, why do you get up every morning? What is your why?
Okay, that's great. I hate to be stereotypical, but at this point in my life, one of my biggest whys is, of course, my son. I want to be truthful with myself in order to inspire other people to be truthful with themselves. So I want to inspire truthfulness, honesty, and following your path. Because what else are we here for, really?
I agree.
And
it's a beautiful thing.
So I get up in the morning and it's kind of like I'm going to do my best today for myself and to satisfy myself in taking care of my family and raising my son and cultivating my relationships with my friends and the people that I love and my musical buddies and continuing to make music because I'm so inspired by the music that I love. I swear I have my phone, it plays music all day long. So I just kind of carry it around and then I'm in the car. I want to inspire, I want to do my best so that I can inspire other people to do their best and to find happiness while doing it. You don't want to work. You can't just work. You got to do things that you love. Like I like to garden. I've got these beautiful these baby tomato plants right now.
Heirloom tomatoes?
Yeah.
Are they heirloom tomatoes?
They are, absolutely. I've got a bunch of different ones. But yeah, I do have some heirloom plants.
Put me on the list.
I'm going to have a ton of them too when they're ready. So I'll bring some over for sure.
Balsamic vinegar.
Oh, absolutely. The homegrown tomatoes are the best in the world,
Oh
especially when you grow them yourself. I know my dad had this beautiful garden when I was growing up. But anyway, I love to cook and spend time with my friends and my family. We sit around, we play games together. And
That's awesome.
then I get together with my musical family and we play music together and we get to perform for other people. And it's just, life is great, and it wasn't always so satisfying for me. So, but now it absolutely 1000% is. And it doesn't mean that everything's easy.
But it's simple.
But it's simple.
Exactly.
It really is. When you get down to it, it's like, okay, this is what you do, and this is why you do it, and it feels good,
I love it.
Yeah.
Now you got to take a deep breath. Ready? 5 years from today.
Oh, wow.
What's happening 5 years from today? So if I said it's 5 years, so it's 2026.
Wow.
May, what is it, May 5th? Sick of them out.
I like this question.
Yeah, 5 years from today. So it's May 5th,
Okay.
2026. And I say, hey, Laura, how was your day? I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on with you?
Oh, my gosh.
This is going to create it. This is going to create it.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so hey Rob, it's great to see you, buddy. It's been a minute.
I know.
So things are great. My band is doing great. We've got like millions and millions of listens on Spotify. We've put out 3 albums at this point. I got to sing and record with Alison Krauss. It was like the coolest thing ever. Casey Musgraves won't stop calling me to like write and record with her. It's like so crazy. And me and Miranda Lambert are like on tour together right now. So.
And you're not going to tell me about the platinum record that I just saw? You just said platinum?
I just got my second platinum record, and it feels amazing. And people are relating to my music and my words and my experiences, and I'm moving them and helping them and providing solace and comfort and, you know, toe tapping situations for them. And that feels great. It feels great, Rob. I couldn't be happier.
I love it. I love it. Laura, thank you. Do you got one last song in you?
Oh, sure.
Just one more.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I sure do.
Yay.
All right. This one is on, you can find it on Spotify.
And look up Laura Hamlin.
Yes, please
It's
look
awesome.
up Laura Hamlin. And this one's called Waitin'.
Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this.
It's Waitin'.
I like this one.
Waiting. I think it's technically written Waiting.
I know, but I
anyhow.
like this one. Okay. Okay.
Why do I fall for fixer-uppers? No drive for lifers, plain childish men. Why do I put up with deceivers and those fairy tale believers? It never seems to end. So, baby, if you're out there, I'll be waiting for the day you come into my crazy life and take my heart away. Oh, baby, I'll be waiting.
So good. I'll give you the applause too. Here.
Thank you. Oh, I like it. I like it. There's got to be an app for that, right?
There's got to be. I'll make an app. I'll make an applause app. Okay, good. All right, so on Spotify, it's Laura Hamlin.
Yes.
Easy to find.
Yes.
You can check out more of Laura Hamlin and her music by visiting her website at laurahamlinmusic.com, Clubhouse at Laura Hamlin, Instagram, Laura Hamlin Music. And when you reach out to Laura, let her know that you listened to this episode of Life Transformation Radio.
Absolutely. I would love to hear from you guys. So please find me.
Absolutely. All right. I got to say, thank you.
Thank you from my heart. This has been so much fun. I really appreciate it. It's great to see you, as always.
Oh, man. Just, such a... Yeah, one of my favorite episodes of Life Transformation Radio. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, sweetie.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for your support of Life Transformation Radio and taking the time out of your busy and precious day to listen. We so appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me, along with my very special guest, Laura Hamlin, to touch your heart, move your soul, and inspire you to live a life of transformation. I'm Rob Actis. Until next time.
This is Life Transformation Radio. Download complete.